Hey guys, Shnickerman here back with another video. Today I want to show you 10 different games that I have in my collection that have been really spiking in price recently, and I'll kind of just talk about how I got this game and why I think the price might be going up in general. So here's the 10 games I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go through them one by one. So the first one is always really surprising to me. This is the Dragon's Lair trilogy released by Limited Run Games. And so this has Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace on it. I'm not exactly sure why this game went up in value so much. I think it was one of the last ones that actually had a numbered release, and it wasn't a pre-order. But this one has kind of slowly been climbing, so for this game, I wouldn't say there's a specific reason why it's going up. They even released it on Switch afterwards. But this copy in brand new condition will go for around $100 to $110. And I think that that's pretty high for this type of release. Pokemon Platinum Edition. There's no surprise why Pokemon games would be sought after, but this is another one where I only picked this game up probably about a year ago, and I paid maybe $50, and I made sure I got an authentic copy that was complete in box and everything like that. But because of the pandemic and everything, and it just being a more sought after Pokemon game, this one's been slowly climbing as well. This one's also probably around $100 these days, so if you ever see it, stay on the lookout for that one. This one, so this is Mega Man Legends 2. This has been in my personal collection since I got it a long time ago. One of my first PlayStation games that I owned. This one was kind of hit or miss. Many years ago, Mega Man Legends 2 was a pretty sought after game, and I would say it's probably $60, $70 in complete condition. Then at a certain point, it went down in value a lot. And then just recently, again, it started to spike back up. So, again, I think just a more limited print run type of game, really good series that hasn't ever been continued. And yeah, I mean, if you've never played this game, definitely check it out if you can get your hands on it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah. Another one that's kind of sleeper for me. So, my story behind this, so this is the Persona game for PlayStation Portable. And this is the version that was released. You have the game inside, you have the soundtrack, and you get this bigger box. So this game, they released a few different Persona games on PSP as well. And so back in 2011 or so, there was a game trading platform called 99 Gamers. I used to use it, and I think I got this game for $20 of credit. And at the time, I played a bit of it, and I thought it was really fun. It's a really solid Persona game. The earlier ones are much different than the later ones, but the core values are the same. And this is another one that it kind of stayed at a pretty low price until the last few years, and then in the last few years, it's gone up like crazy. And now, even just having a complete copy of the game without the soundtrack will put you well over $100. So I think this may also have something to do with just it being rarer, the pandemic, Persona having a bigger fan base now than ever with the success of the fifth one and then the second version of the fifth one. That's what I'm predicting happened with this one. Next one's another one that's kind of been up and down, very similar to Mega Man Legends 2. The original Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of the Superheroes. This game also used to be probably a $20 or $30 game. I think I bought it used at GameStop many years ago for $20. It kind of went up and down and fluctuated a bit, but now again it's kind of over $100. Again, maybe more rare, but I don't think so. Just high demand, really good series. Really fan favorite of fighting game players. And it is really good. Check it out. A bit different than the other Marvel vs. Capcom games. So this one was made by I Am 8-Bit. This is a physical release for What Remains of Edith Finch. First of all, this is a really good game. It's available digitally. It was on Xbox Game Pass for a while. I'm not sure if it still is, but if it isn't, it's a walking simulator. You should definitely check it out. I completed this game and really enjoyed it. And at the time, the limited print run that I Am 8-Bit did of this game had already sold out. And then they randomly posted something on Twitter that they had a few more copies that were available. Maybe they were returns that they never ended up selling. So I jumped on it. I think I paid $30, and this is a game that now is probably over $120 for sealed copy. There's always way more sealed copies than there are used copies. For me, I know I'll personally never sell this. I really enjoy this game, and I like having it sealed in my collection. But again, I guess just a really limited print run. I think there were a few thousand copies at least, but just high demand, really sought after indie game that people want to have a physical version of. Here's one that I've had ever since I got it as a kid, and I've had it complete ever since. It's one of the few games that I actually kept in good condition. This is technically the Legacy of Goku RPG series on Game Boy Advance. This one's called Boo's Fury, and this one goes pretty much all the way to the end of Dragon Ball Z. Has a lot of characters, it has fusions. Really fun game. Again, if you haven't played it, check it out. But the value of this game has skyrocketed as well in recent years. Again, it's not like this happened overnight, but especially since the pandemic started happening. I believe this one's close to 100 as well, complete. I ended up misplacing my game cartridge maybe a year and a half ago, so I paid about $30 to get just the cart, but I think the cart's even over that now. But yeah, this one I think, again, more obscure game, high demand, pandemic situation. It's probably what's responsible for that. Another game that sat at $20 to $30 for a long time. I think we're just getting into the spot where Game Boy Advance collecting is starting to really pick up. So this is Metroid Fusion. If you haven't played this one, this is pretty much the best Metroid game in my opinion. It's very similar to Super Metroid, but it's a bit better. Again, fantastic game. My brother used to have it back in the day. It was his game. As soon as I got into college, around 2011 or so, I had to buy a complete copy of this. I went on eBay. I waited for a really long time to get a really minty copy for about, I think, $30 or something in 2011. Again, this is another one that you'll probably pay about $100 complete or so. It's been steadily increasing in value over the last 2 to 3 years. Again, really beloved game and not as easy to come by in complete condition. This is another game I've had in my personal collection ever since I got it from Toys R Us back in the day. This is Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hand. This is a Konami game. This is a game where you use a sun sensor in order to fight vampires. It's a really wacky game. It's not necessarily that good, but it's very quirky and very different. And again, I don't think that there were that many produced. I remember as a kid, I love this game. I used to always talk about it at school. I never found another person who had this game or even knew what the heck it was. So it's very difficult to find a complete in-box copy in good condition. This is my personal box. I had to rebuy the game a few years ago because I had misplaced it. But again, this is probably $120, $130 easy in complete condition. So if you see it, be on the lookout. I would recommend giving it a shot if you've never tried it as well. It's not for everybody, but it's a pretty cool gimmick. This one I never thought I would see on this list. So this one, I gotta get the name right. This is Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. This one was also released, I think, around 2011, 2012. I remember I got this also in early college. It's funny that a lot of these games are from early college for me. So the deal with this is I had a way in college to make a few extra bucks, saved up $40. I was very conservative with my money. I wanted to make sure I was saving in college and not spending too much. So I purchased this. It's an old school dungeon crawler. It's actually a remake of a Japanese PSP game, I believe, but this was the first release in the US. And if you ordered it directly from Atlas, which I did, it came with the soundtrack. So you get this cardboard box that has a soundtrack. You get the game and everything in there. This is another one where, I don't know, probably low print run because it's Atlas, and obscure game, not a lot of people had it, but Shin Megami Tensei collectors are kind of crazy. And this one is also probably, you're going to pay at least $120, $130 to get a complete copy with the soundtrack. So again, be on the lookout. This one really surprised me. This is probably my most surprising out of all my collection that jumped up recently. So there you have it, guys. If there's anything in your collection that jumped up in price or has been steadily inclining, be sure to let me know in the comments. If you like this kind of video, I'm trying to branch out my style of content. I kind of focused this channel on game collecting, and I realized that recently I didn't have too many game collecting videos, but I noticed that these spikes in prices are cool to talk about and just make some discussion. And if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of different game guides and discussions on trading and selling games and just talking, making a game room and assembling your game collection. So until next time, guys, peace out.